Just wanted to start out by saying thank you guys a lot. Really appreciate those comments that you guys are putting down. You guys are really contributing to the channel and helping making these videos visible for other people. But I'm going to tell you real quick about the negative comments. I got a little thing for them, and if you're one of those people, or maybe you see those comments down there, this is kind of what I feel about them. Is, look, there's a lot of people that have a lot of expertise out there, and this is the thing that I have to say. They're, what I call them is the negative comment people, are people that basically I call them armchair critics. And they're the kind of person that never does anything unless they do it right. So it's the perfect excuse to never do anything. So that's how I feel about them. Anyway, continue. All right, so I figured since I got some of the parts in, some of us really wanted to see this engine run, and including that was me, see it run right, and you know, run close to right at least. I mean, it was so, the will it run was so terrible as far as the engine running. It took us a long time to get it started, and a lot of people, you know, are just commenting like crazy stuff. And let me kind of give you an idea of what happened. We had to kind of back up and figure out again what happened and why did it come out. Why did it not start right up? You know, one of the things we had a problem with is the accelerator pump was leaking. Also, the choke was staying shut tight, and the combination of that, and then also at the same time we didn't get any fuel from the fuel pump. And I think the reason we didn't get the fuel from the fuel pump, and I haven't checked it yet, but there's on this particular pump, we've done this before with other pumps and it didn't have a problem, but I think on this one there's actually a check valve where there's a ball and seat, and when we were pressurizing the input line, it actually shoved the ball and seat into the socket and made it so that it didn't allow fuel to go up to the carburetor. So we had a lot of combination of different problems at the same time, and that's why it took so long to get started. Of course, when it started, then we didn't have it running right. It wasn't even close to right. It was because, again, the choke, you know, when it finally started to start, if you notice, I had put my hand over the carburetor. I had to actually watch the video a couple times to figure it out, to remember what was going on. And I had to, you know, open up the choke manually, and then the timing was off, because what happened is when we were messing around, we had the timing pretty well static set, but when we were messing around with the fuel line, actually Chris pulled this was just to the point where it wasn't getting spark. So just a lot of combination of different things that made it a little more difficult to run. So anyway, I figured why not, let's do a cold start on this. I haven't started it yet today, and I just put the parts on last night and ran it roughly for a minute, and it was running okay. I think the idle jet's at a 50. If you know anything about jetting, that's way too lean, and I wasn't able to get the I didn't know what the idle jet was, but that's what Chris told me last night after I started it. So it's probably going to need at least a 55, maybe a 60. So I wasn't able to adjust the idle, and it's a little bit rough, well, pretty rough at idle, and I can't get it to idle really low, but it does run pretty smooth. And with the jets we got now are pretty, I mean, marginally close when it's warmed up. I'm not going to put the tubes on because I put those. I'm not going to put the tubes on because I put those tubes on last night, and as soon as I rev it up, it blows them off. I'm not going to run it long enough for it to get hot, so that's not going to be a problem, but I'm going to warm it up, let it warm up for a minute. So it's going to take a little while. This video is going to be a little bit longer than maybe you'd like it to be. I love it. I like my videos to be short. I did this video for the engine build, took way more videos than I expected. Sorry about that, guys. I wasn't trying to get more watch time or anything like that by stretching it out. It was just the time it took to actually fabricate all the parts to fit on the block, and some of those things took a long time, and it just took a lot of time to do. So it kind of ran into another video, and it just, because it just took so long, and I didn't want to put up a 2-hour video or something. So anyway, and plus it just gets my phone clogged up. You know, I have to keep cleaning these off here, and so it's a little bit difficult for me to manage to try and, you know, make it really watchable all the time. So it just didn't work out, guys. Sorry. But we're going to go ahead and give this thing a cold start. Let's set the camera up here by myself. So I don't know how this is going to go. Wait, actually, I'm going to prime the pump first. All right, well, here goes nothing. I don't know if it's primed up right or not. Let's give it a shot. It's kind of funky with this electric pump. I hate electric pumps. So give it a couple pumps here. Can't hear if there's any gas coming out.
Very cold-blooded because it's lean. Yeah, it's pretty lean, so if it's really lean, you'll get, one of the things you'll know about engines, if your car's really lean, it'll really run bad when it's cold, so it'll take a little longer for it to warm up. So if you're finding out your car takes a long time to warm up, I want to check and see if it's a little lean. When it's really too rich, it always runs really good when it's cold, and as it warms up, it starts to run a little bit, doesn't run quite right then. So, yeah, it's running pretty good. It's a little bit, here's the low idle, that's typical for the cam, but it's a little bit slower than it should be. It's a little bit rougher, and if you notice when it goes down to the idle circuit, it starts to kind of lope a little bit. That's telling me it's lean. So we're going to have, while it's warming up here, I'll open these up here so you guys can see it. Just listen to the motor for a minute. I have these. What these are, you weld this in your exhaust, okay, while it's warming up here. And this is so you can put an oxygen sensor in your exhaust, And the reason I'm going to do that is because then we can set it with the oxygen sensor, set the jetting. And if you set that up right, you can, so come back to that video, of course, but we're going to have, we can actually do it while we're going down the road if we make a long enough harness. Once it warms up, the idle doesn't go that low. I think it's only one idle jet off. It out and get its temperature now. Yeah, we're at operating temperature, so we're at 250 or so. Let me open this thing up for a second. It's lean out of idle, so once I get that worked out, the rest of the jets are, I'm going to say they're pretty close. Got a little bit of black smoke when you floor it. I'll show you that. Just a little bit. So the secondary is a little bit lean, but this thing's pretty lean. So once I get the idle jet right, it'll probably be pretty close. I'm going to say the carburetor's not that far off. The jets we chose were pretty close. But then again, when we put this on there, that'll really tell us accurately. Even the idle doesn't sound that bad, but it is too lean. That's why it's got that dead spot. So, that gives you an idea. I think this thing's going to run pretty good. But anyway, I just thought you guys want to see that. Talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.